The support strike and Necros comments why this actually matters. This is wild. So apparently, if you don't know, Marvel Rivals has a performance-based SR or rank, whatever they call their SR. If you perform well, you get a boost. If you don't perform well, you get not as much of a boost if you win. Or if you lose a game, you don't lose as much if you do really well, and if you did really bad and you lose a lot. So I think Necros said something along the lines, I'm not so sure, is that he said support are brain dead and boosted. Okay, there you go. TLDR, he said support players are brain dead and boosted. So anyways, we have this. The support strike and Necros' comments, why this actually matters. With the recent support strike going on in Marvel Rivals, I wanted to share an experience that really shows why many support players are speaking up and had enough right now. Necros outright said on stream that he hates support players, calling them idiots and morons. Oh, there you go, TLDR. That kind of statement coming from a big voice in the community does real damage. Streamers don't get to opt out of influence. If you have a following, what you say matters in your community. True. And what now we're seeing the consequences of that. In a recent match, I was playing support and I wasn't doing bad. Nearly 50k healing. Only 2 deaths and the same damage blocked as our DPS, and just 10k less total damage dealt. Still, okay, well, you're not really, if you're playing support, you're a healer, not a DPS. You do DPS if your whole team's healed. Still, someone in voice told me, Necros was right, you support players are all brain dead, and that's the exact problem. This mindset is being validated and amplified, and it makes playing the role feel increasingly thankless. Ooh, that, I can see what this guy is coming from. To be honest with you, chat, I love support players. I love support players that do their job. You heal. If you are playing a healer, you are meant to keep your team alive. You can do DPS. I'm not saying you can't damage. You can damage if your team is healthy and alive. It doesn't make any sense if you're doing damage while your tank's dying and then he's dead and then you don't have a tank and then your team's gonna get rolled. Right? Or if you have a DPS Moira going crazy in the back line and you have, like, you know, one healer on your team, yeah. To be clear, most support players aren't playing support because they lack the mechanical skill to play DPS. They can play DPS, just like there are mechanically easy and difficult heroes in every role. That is true. The reason a lot of us choose support is the reason a lot of us choose support is because it's actually fulfilling and fun for us to keep our teammates alive, or to set someone else up for a kill. For us, that's more fun than chasing elims. You know what? That's a good take. That's true. You guys are gonna be like, J3, what do you know about healing? You're a DPS player. Hey, I spent my fair share, even though I'm a DPS player, as a holy paladin and priest in World of Warcraft. Listen, I was a healer, chat. I loved healing in WoW. I love healing in Marvel Rivals, and I love healing in Overwatch as well with Ana. Ana is by far one of the most fun characters for me. I love it. We're not asking to be glorified or seen as the hardest role, because I don't think we are. We just want basic respect. Oh, by the way, I just want to say support players are not heard because, and I think Overwatch League used to do this as well, and I felt really bad for those players. When there's a tournament going on, they mostly spectate. A lot of games mostly spectate. You know, tank players or those DPS players who are about to pop off. But you know what? They never spectate or rarely spectate the support players. They rarely do. Support players don't actually get a lot of love. But, and they deserve the love if they are healing their teammates. Listen, I will be upset if I see my Moira or my Luna Snow in the enemy team's backline doing DPS instead of healing the team. Listen. That's why I feel like Overwatch is always ahead of the curve. They always take one step forward, but always 2 steps back. Remember in Overwatch League, chat, where they had You could watch the broadcast, but you can also watch any person's perspective that you wanted to. I forgot what they called it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Pretty sure it was Overwatch League Pass or something. Anyways, there was a thing that you could do, buy in Overwatch League, where you could spectate any person that you want, which is really cool. I love that. ALGS does that in Apex. And to be honest with you, I don't even like Apex right now or even watch it, but I remember watching Seagull co-stream Apex in the ALGS, and he could spectate any team that he wants to, not what the broadcast was showing, and not only he can spectate any team he wants to and whoever he wants to on the team, you could listen to their comms and see exactly how they comm. And it was the funniest thing ever. I remember someone on Apex was like, hey, can someone find me a gun? Can someone find me a gun? I need this fucking gun. I have no ammo. And one of his teammates was like, oh, there's a gun over here. And then like the guy was like, hey, can you ping it for me, you fucking idiot? I don't know where that is. And it was like in the spur of the moment, it's the funniest fucking shit ever, dude. It was the funniest shit ever. So anyways, let's get back to this. I do think support players are looked down on. It's tiring to be called brain dead or worthless when your stats are solid and you're playing your role the way it's meant to be played. If you're being called brain dead or worthless on support and they don't know what you're doing to keep them up or heal them, if you don't care, just switch to DPS. And then they'll really feel what you were doing. If your team is two teams are clashing and they look like they're even, chat, one team's winning in one fight, one team's losing a fight, going back and forth, and they're saying that you're useless, switch to DPS or switch to tank. Basically, show them why the game's gonna be harder when they don't have an extra healer, and then they'll understand, wow, when you were on healer, it made a difference. Honestly, the players who show appreciation are usually tanks, especially non-dive / frontline tanks. They know they go down in seconds without healing. That's true. But a lot of this support hate comes from DPS mains who usually can get on by with health packs and mobility. You know what? This is actually really funny. It sounds like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals are going through like a whole fucking like crisis right now. Players are getting mad because their one tricks are getting banned, and Marvel Rivals' players are getting mad because supports are not getting appreciated. Bro, it looks like every game is going crazy right now. Also, yeah, my favorite thing, I don't know if people like to do this, is in Marvel Rivals, I'm a DPS player. I love playing DPS. But in that startup phase, when everyone's selecting characters, you know, sometimes I pick tank, so they're not gonna yell at me when someone else picks like their 4th DPS. So then when we actually do get a good team comp, I switch back to DPS and I play DPS. Sometimes I stay on tank. If you're someone who plays DPS or tank, take a second to think about the support on your team. Are they really the problem, or are they just an easy target? This game doesn't work without teamwork, which is true. So if your support is getting dove a lot, stay with them and protect them. You keeping your support alive and preventing the enemy team's divers from getting any kills is great value for your team. True. Oh my god! Wait a minute. This is for Overwatch S2. I just went down to see what the first comment was and said, this is why I believe players should learn at least 2 characters in each role. Oh my god, don't say that to Overwatch. Overwatch players will get triggered. You can't say that. You can't say that. You cannot say that, chat. Oh my god. That has 5.2k likes, but if I say it, I become the most hated Overwatch streamer? That's wild, bro. That is wild. But this guy does have a very good, what do you call it thing right here. You will understand situations better than someone who plays only one role. Regardless of what characters I'm playing, I will always go peel for my supports the second they ping a diver in the backline, especially if there is more than one diver. I feel like many players this season forgot how to peel for their supports. It's really not that hard to go help your supports, but people neglect them anyways. That's true, which I actually agree with, because if you go help your supports and you kill the people who are trying to kill them, your supports are alive to basically keep your team alive. So why would you not help your supports? Because if your supports are dead, who's going to keep your team alive? Or you can trade backlines. But trading backlines is very risky, though. You can trade backlines, and let's say the supports are off the table, and it's just the tanks and the DPS are live. You can't blame the supports then. Because if all the supports are out of the equation, then it's only you guys. You can't blame them. Learning multiple heroes in each role definitely helps build empathy. A lot of players seem to forget that support is a team role, not a solo mission. Peeling and protecting them can turn the tide, yet what do you call it? So few seem to prioritize that. Yeah. What the f is a Necros? Okay, I'm done. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm not reading this anymore. Okay, what did people say to my... What did people say to mine? Necros is being an insufferable tool. He's main DPS and thinks he's best at the game. There's an alleged support strike that people are blaming on Necros when in reality nobody's playing support this season because you get less elo. That's true. New face. I don't know who you are, but you know what? Like, it's faster to rank up by insta-locking DPS every game, even if you lose some because you only have one support. Okay. We are about to start a civil war, bro. Diver mains versus support mains. To be honest with you, if you're playing dive, you cannot rely on your supports then. You should rely on health packs. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, chat. Unless you have a Luna Snow and they have a snowflake on you. So they changed the rank system. DPS climb more easily than tanks and supports, leading to a lot of boosted DPS. The narrative from a few DPS streamers said that support is easy, they're broken, and support players are boosted, so people in queue are all locking DPS and flaming. Nothing. Toddlers are crying over nothing. That's it. Oh my god. Jarvis, make them eat British food. Nah, I'm done, chat. I'm done. It looks like both games right now are in a very good state, chat. Overwatch with one tricks and bans, and Marvel Rivals with support characters and boosted. I don't know, and everyone hating each other. Gaming is a lot of fun. Okay, friends, YouTube thinks you might like this next video, so let me know if they're right.